Earlier in the week, we spoke with head coach Ron Mimmick about how his team is preparing for their next opponent, Malcolm.
Thanks, Katie. Here with Coach Ron Mimmick. Coach, on Tuesday night, you just beat Lutheran Northeast, third win of the playoff run. Just talk about your team's motivation so far. Where are they at right now? They got to be feeling good with the 3 games they've played so far.
Yeah, definitely. We lost our last regular season game of the year, the first district game we lost in 6 years. When we played Malcolm, they just beat us 14-12. They outplayed us. They played harder than we did, and they deserved to beat us. And it kind of set our kids back a little bit to where they got to realize they got to be ready to play every game to their greatest ability in order to play well, because we do not have a great football player. Got a lot of good football players, but they don't have a great player to carry them, and they found that out, and they found out sometimes the desire and effort. You got to bring it every game, and they're doing that right now. We've beat 3 pretty good teams in the playoff. Oakland Craig was a good team. Bergen was a top 5 team. Lutheran Northeast was a top 5 team, and now we got Malcolm, who was ranked ahead of us and beat us during the season.
Well, let's talk about one of those good players, Zach Crank. He had a very good game against Lutheran High Northeast.
Yeah, Zach's one of the 2 or 3 fullbacks we play. He does a really nice job. Had a great game last night. He had about 165 yards and 14 carries. Busted the first play of the second half for a big touchdown run that kind of didn't ice the game, but it sure made the hill awful high for Lutheran High to come back on.
And talk about that play at the second half where he just busted that big run. Was that kind of what opened up the game and ensured the win?
Yeah, looking back on it, yes, at that time it was made it 21-0 in a kind of a game where we were playing pretty good defensively. We just made a blocking adjustment in the play, and he took it, pulled it, hit it, kind of ran through one arm tackle and just sprinted to the end zone and made a nice play out of it with some good line blocking.
Well, let's look forward to next Tuesday where you do take on number 4 seed Malcolm. What do you expect to see from this game? What are the keys to getting a win?
Well, the keys are to play harder and to play more focused than we did the first game against them, but also to match them. They played really well against us. Their quarterback does a really nice job of just managing the game, throwing the ball where it needs to be, running a little bit of option. And, they played with a lot of physicality. They played with a lot of confidence, and they played really good defense against them. They just beat us last game. We got to be able to match them and be ready for the ups and downs of a regular game.
You mentioned their quarterback, Ty Webster, does both running and passing very well. How do you plan on stopping him on the defensive side of the ball?
You really can't plan just to stop one guy because if you do, they have enough other weapons on their offense that they'll take away. If you do take away one thing, they'll take the other thing, because he can do both well. You just got to play good, fundamental, sound football. And the fact is, you don't want to give up the long ball. You don't want to give the ball on a turnover on the short side of the field and make them drive and make them execute 14, 15 plays.
Considering they beat you guys at the end of the regular season, are they more fired up, looking for a little bit of revenge, your guys, coming into this game?
It would be human nature too, but we're going to talk about that very quickly when we get back to meeting with them, because that only takes you so far into a game. It helps you to prepare and keep your focus, but once you get in the heat of the game, that factors out of the window in the first 1 or 2 plays. It helps you prepare, but you have to be focused on playing well as yourself and playing within yourself in order to play a whole game well.
Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck coming up Tuesday.
Thank you, Brendan.
Katie, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Brandon. So with this win, Ron